Preview.
We're live.
Come on.
We're 10 seconds deep.
I know. I'm trying to get Instagram to go live real quick. Come on. Why are you such a... Oh, did it do it?
Do it.
I don't know if it did it.
I'll check. I always have to check, and then like every week you watch the video and it's me playing on my phone.
I'm gonna retry it here. Here we go. Is it? It says it is live.
It's not showing.
Let me edit it here. This is the fun part about all this. Okay. Base. Shave. Come on, baby. Speak to daddy. Okay. Should be live. Come on.
It's not live on Instagram.
Yes, it should.
On the great.
Oh, there it is. Let's go. Live on Instagram.
Now it is. Now it's live.
You guys ready? We'll fire this bad boy off. All right.
Skin.
What's that?
You fire that pigskin.
Okay, let's fire the pigskin. All right, guys, we are live on the Outdoor Drive podcast. We got Corre Smith with us, as seen on Instagram. Corey, how are you, buddy?
I'm slightly buzzed up right now. We're good to go.
The boys are buzzing.
Boys are buzzing. We love it, dude. That's a normal quote here at the Outdoor Drive. The boys are buzzing. Did JB start that, Steve, or was that?
We stole it from somewhere. That's just what you do. You just steal other people's content.
Oh, right off the rip, Steve. Like, we're really going there.
Hanging fruit.
Can the boy introduce?
No, isn't it? I think it's from You Betcha, isn't it?
I
think it's one of his things. Which that guy's hilarious, by the way.
Be a man. Be a man.
Be a man.
Just be a man. Core, why don't we dig this thing right in a 4-wheel drive with ag tires? Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about, I guess, what you do.
Yeah, my name's Corre Smith. I'm from the Allegheny Mountains of Pennsylvania, and I just kind of hunt 24/7, 365. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I used to guide turkeys. I currently guide waterfowl. I'm a pretty shit deer hunter, not gonna lie. I'm not good, but I'm here today with 2 studly looking men above me. Look at that, right there.
Core's the man. Core. So where did it all start with you? I mean, it stems back to, I mean, hunting and shooting with your father, it seems like, right? Like your dad really got you into the sport full send?
Yeah, he definitely did. My dad was the captain of the Navy rifle and pistol team when he was in the service, and he just kind of like always took me with him to like shoots and whatnot. So I mean, as a kid, I grew up, shooting my bow when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, and it translated to me being a trap shooter. I went to college for trap shooting. I was on the junior Olympic team for trap shooting and all that stuff. And I just, I owe everything that I do now to my dad. He kind of instilled all those outdoor values into me,
And like, what does that really honestly take to be, competitive in the trap world? I mean, I don't think we've really had anybody on the podcast talk about trap shooting. Like, so kind of
trap house, but not trap shooting.
Yeah, trap house.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of time and effort. I mean, during the summers when like most kids are hanging out with their buddies and whatnot, I was going from state to state shooting, little clay targets in random cornfields around the place. Is just, and it's expensive. Like, I'm not gonna say the price of the one shotgun I had, but it was like, I don't know, 5 digits, I guess, 5 figures.
It's why are they so expensive? Like the cheekbone rise and this, that, explain that all.
Dude, I honestly couldn't tell you. I legitimately think you could take an 870 out there and put it in the hands of someone that's really good, and they'd be just as fine. But it kind of comes with the idea that like the better they're built, the longer they're gonna last. So like any given year, you're gonna shoot, not including practice, like 30,000 rounds through a gun. So like you kind of want something that's gonna hold up. You know, I mean, that's just what it is. You put 30,000 rounds through like a 870 or something like that, it's gonna break like halfway through. Nothing against the 870 guys, but like it's just what's gonna happen. Like a firing pin's gonna snap, something's gonna go wrong. But yeah,
Barrel, shoot out a barrel, whatever the case may be.
I have a buddy that wore out the pump. Just stopped pumping.
Yeah,
just when you pumped it, the pump would move, but it just wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
that's
stupid
real.
shit like that happens. It just is what it is.
I didn't even, you know, when somebody asks like, what is the best all-around shotgun? You first off, you either push them to the Mossberg 500 or the Remington 870. Just all-around best gun that there is. I mean, I don't think that. I think every American should own one of those two guns, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, but I've even got like what I love about a shotgun is, in theory, it's the only gun you need, right? You can kill birds with it, flying birds, you can kill turkeys, you can run slugs through it, kill deer and big game, you can load down and shoot small game, you can kill everything with 12 gauge shotgun, right? But even like in the last couple of years, I don't even want to have one shotgun. Like I have my 12 gauge set up just for coyotes. My turkey gun is my 20 gauge. It's just my turkey gun. So it's like it's versatile to do all, but like it's kind of a pain in the ass to bounce around for the most part, you know?
But if you were to like go to a gun store, never buying a gun in your life, and you had one option, if you had to go home with one gun, I'm going home with an 870 or a Mossberg 500.
Absolutely, 100%.
I think all around turkey, slug gun.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: these competitive shotguns that you would take to these competitions, would you also take it in the field for upland hunting, or do you have a separate gun for that?
So one of them I did take duck hunting one day. I wasn't like in a swamp. I was like in a field, you know, but
yeah,
I probably shouldn't have done that. I got freaking reamed by my dad, but like he's not even the one that bought it, but like he freaking yelled at me. But I took it out there and it worked great. But like yeah, I would not, simply just because of the fact that like if you ding it, you're fucked. Like there goes $1,000 right there if you fuck up the stock a little bit. So like whatever. I mean they work though. So, like,
I don't know. Everybody thinks that their trap and skeet gun is the best gun in the world, right? I mean, they pay big money for them. Big money. You see them all in their golf carts ripping around on, you know, shot day, and you're like,
dog. Bro. I had a $28,000 shotgun. I could shoot just as good with my freaking Remington 1187 from 1990. Like it just is what it is. Like if you're good, you're good. It doesn't matter.
It's so true. It really is. Honestly, I mean, you know, all right, Steve, for example, we hunt a ton of things. He uses a youth model right now. That's what he turkey hunts with. And youth model 500.
1997.
Bro,
love it.
I turkey hunt. One of my favorite waterfowl guns and turkey guns was a Remington 887. Okay. Just like, talk about bottom of the barrel. I mean, dude, like I would row my boat with that thing. I would beat geese in the head with it. Like it didn't matter, but you just like, whatever's the best gun, dude. And I would take that thing and put it right up on, you know, I would take that thing and put it right on. We'd go and shoot sporting clays with it for a day. I don't care. I mean, it's your gun. It's a tool. It's you know, you have to get used to it, I guess.
I mean, what they used to say, it's the Indian, not the arrow. So like,
it is very true. It's very true. The Indian, not the arrow. Whoa. Lone Bow Hunter Chronicles said, "Corre is the man."
I appreciate that, Zach.
Speaking of the arrow and the Indian, talk to us a little bit about, you kind of started your season off with the traditional bow. Has this been something that you've been shooting for quite some time, or?
No, I bought a freaking recurve off of eBay like last May for like $75, and I was like, you know what? I don't see any people around here doing it, and I just figured I wanted to like set myself apart from all the other, rejects in my area. So I just kind of fixed it up, and uh, it took me several months to figure out how to like actually consistently shoot it.
Hmm?
And I just think being able to walk through the woods with a traditional bow and harvest a deer with it was one of the most rewarding days of my life. Like my first recurve kill was I spot and stalked a doe in the middle of a clear cut, and I got within 15 yards, and I just put an arrow through her. This is like, and I just felt badass. Like there's nothing like stopping me. My heart was pumping. Like my heart was going faster over that doe than the 172-inch buck I shot in Nebraska when I was like 18 years old. Like it's just a different kind of feeling you get when the arrow is completely controlled by you. Like there's no cams, there's no whatever, there's no sight, there's no drop away rest. It's just you and a bow and a string. That's it.
What do you think that the hills that you had to climb to try and conquer the traditional bow?
Dude, it's hard. I got if I were to do it again, I'd probably like watch some more YouTube videos and listen to more advice. I'm pretty stubborn. I don't like taking advice from anyone, but yeah, I did. No, it's right here. Like it's my little baby. I love the thing. I got freaking disposable vapes on the side and electrical tape. Like, but it works.
That is pretty cool though. And not even did you take on the traditional hunting, you took on saddle hunting all at
Yeah,
the same time. Like if you're just going to take everything, throw it all in the trash and start over, I mean, that's a pretty rough start.
yeah. Saddle hunting was like it was a lot easier for me. I'm not really like scared of heights or whatever, but it was definitely changing because normally I just sit in a ladder stand or some preset, big old, uh, hang on. They usually have armrest or some shit. So like sitting there with the only thing connecting you to the tree is a rope. Like it was kind of off putting at first, but I got used to it. But I pretty much started saddle hunting because my one buddy was like, "Hey, we hunt a lot of public land. This will make it easier." And I was like, "Okay, if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna let you go through this like journey alone, I guess." And we just kind of figured it out together. And here we are now. Like I'm up there with a freaking 60-year-old stick and string, and he's got himself a brand new whatever lift, Matthews lift. So it's kind of like two different ends of the spectrum, but we're doing the same thing.
Do you think it like what were some of the learning curves that you had to go through to try and make yourself successful this season with a saddle?
I just kind of had to figure out like the easiest way to like actually set up that wouldn't take me 30 minutes. So like watching some YouTube videos on how to like on what to do to like do it, like having your sticks hooked onto your saddle so you can just unclip them and go instead of having to climb all the way back down and all the way back up. And it was just a really big learning curve on actually setting it up. That was pretty much it. Other than that, it went pretty smoothly. Like being able to shoot out of a saddle is whatever. Like you just figure it out in your yard, but like actually being able to set it up and take it down quickly without making so much noise, that was kind of difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you think that with saddle hunting that you put yourself in different scenarios that you've ever put yourself in, like as far as like a ladder stand or a hang on?
Oh, dude, 100%. Um, there's so much more that I would actually hunt. Like I would like bypass places because there wasn't a tree good enough. Like I'll sit there in a saddle one stick high now. Like I'm not, it's just there's so much more that you're able to do out of a saddle in my mind. Anyways, like sure you could put a freaking hang on 5 foot high in a tree, but you're not gonna look as cool. Like I'm gonna sit there and dangle. Like, but
I think it's size of trees and crookedness and like gnarly trees where like you go back to climbers, they had to look like a telephone pole, no branches, straight, no
yeah,
knots, no leaners. Sometimes now with the saddle, I look for a lean. If you can get a leaner that leans away from you, it's like there's nothing better than that. But it just opens up the door to every tree in the woods, really.
Mm-hmm. Like I realistically think that like everywhere that I think that there's deer sign, I can hunt now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're not picking a tree, you're picking a spot. So like if you put yourself in a scenario where say that you know that buck's there, you don't have to move. You don't have to try and find a straight oak or something like you can get in anything you want.
Yeah.
The closest hangable tree to that run is 45 yards away. Now you can just find a tree at 20 yards and nothing's stopping you from getting up it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an elevated ground blind. I mean, that's really what it is because you can literally put it wherever you want.
Pretty much. And like I get really restless in tree stands, so like I'm always like standing up and like sitting around like with a saddle. Like I just kind of like swing a little bit, move my feet, and I'm good. Like I'm not standing up all the time in a tree stand. I'm just always there. I guess I just don't move as much in a saddle as I would a tree stand. So I mean, I guess that helps too. Like, it's just weird.
Same. I agree with that 100%.
Especially being
the other thing you got to watch out for that I notice is like if you do get in those smaller trees, and you like you say you swing a little bit or shift your weight, you don't realize it, but like the whole top of the tree above you moves a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that. I had a little doe bust me when I was doing that. The tree was so tiny. It was
Yeah.
That big.
Yeah.
And the tree was moving, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then looking at me, and she just bolted. And I was like, well, that didn't quite work out like I thought it would.
But if you're aware of it, right? If you're like, I have to get in this tree, it's a smaller tree. You just can't shift your weight or move nearly as much as you could if you're on a, 12-inch oak.
You definitely can't do it as fast yet.
Yeah.
That's and the other thing, like myself, like being in big trees, you don't even pay attention to it. You just climb up them, and then you get to the top, and you're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
It's definitely a scary thing. So, did you get a lot of flack on social media when you started shooting a longbow and you're saddle hunting? Or
Oh, dude, yeah. Everyone still today, like I could sit there and sit at 30 yards. Like I'm not gonna shoot a deer like over 30 yards with my trad bow because it's just not the right equipment. But I'll sit there and have a group like the size of a baseball at 30 yards, and people are still gonna comment and be like, "Let us know when you pick up the crossbow because you're wounding so many deer." And I was like, "I haven't yet. Like there's just a difference."
Fucking dicks.
Shots, bro. Like
someone made a comment the other day. I forget what it was about. Someone had just bought a new, I think it was a lift, and someone made a comment and they were like, guys with crossbows fill tags. And I stay out of the comment section because I don't like running my mouth like I used to, but I want to be like, guys that shoot crossbows don't have standards. That's why they fill tags.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have standards either. Like dude, soon as November hits, I'm flinging out whatever. Like I don't care. But like I had long hair for a while, and I'm sitting there shooting a recurve. People are like, making some derogatory comments, thinking I'm native and whatnot. And I'm like, bro, that's just really weird. Like straight up being racist over me shooting a bow. I was like, I'm not even native, dude. Like, what the fuck? Over here calling me Chief Tonto. Like, what?
You know what? Being original that you are, I mean, like, I guess there's a lot that comes along with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the haters are gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how many people get mad at you for blowing a harmonica, or it's just negativity on there and social media. I don't know how you deal with it. Like, personally, myself and Steve included, like, you start bashing, dude, I'm gonna start ripping, bro, and you're not gonna enjoy what I got to say.
I don't really I don't put up with that bullshit. Like, I'm just gonna give it right back. Most of the time, if you give it back, they'll straight up respect you and like chill out. But sometimes it turns into like month-long replies to one another on some stupid. Yeah, you just, people are gonna talk their shit. People have their opinions, and I have mine. Is what it is.
Fuck that shit. I don't have time for that crap.
No, me neither. I do not. Corey deals with it way better than I would, honestly.
I love it. I bask in it. I will post, like, one of my favorite things to do is just post something that's going to piss someone off. which is why I just make fun of crossbows a lot. I'm not, you know.
So my take on this, right? My take on crossbows is I'm kind of it's a double-edged sword, right? Because crossbows in himself, if you're going to be lazy and not practice or not spend the time to shoot a bow or practice with a recurve, like, bro, I don't want you in the woods with those implements. You might as well grab a crossbow and go out there and not wound a deer. But on the same token, I feel as crossbow season should have its own season. I don't think that if you're going to put the time and effort into it and be that primitive style hunting with a vertical apparatus, that you should have your own season. And it's bow season. Crossbow season should come in with guns. And
yeah.
I mean, like, that's my personal opinion.
And I'll take that a step further too. Like, we opened September 15th. If they told you could hunt with a trad bow starting September 1st, I'd have no problem with that. Like, if you want to go out with a trad bow, you can have a couple extra weeks. Like, go ahead.
States that are like that.
Yeah, I see no problem with that.
Well, look at Pennsylvania in itself. They have a primitive season where they can go out with flintlocks and longbows. Like, what is the difference?
I really don't know. Pennsylvania is weird. We're fucked up. We can't hunt on Sundays. I hate this place.
Neither can we.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Our whole entire childhood, we grew up with it. So it was a normality for us every Sunday. We now have Sunday hunting on private land with a bow.
We don't.
Deer only. Crossbows. And deer only, too. Only.
We have like 3. They give us like 3 Sundays here to hunt, or 3 or 4. But the problem with, like, where I live, legitimately, I'm 80 yards from New York right now. I can go over to New York on Sunday, but I can't in my backyard. That's just what pisses me off. Like,
I agree. We it's the same with one of our goose fields. Our goose field is in Connecticut, right? And the only thing separating Connecticut to Massachusetts, where I can only shoot 3 in my Connecticut field, but if I go over the hedgerow and I'm in Massachusetts, I can shoot 5, and it lasts for an extra month. Explain me that. It's the same geese.
Dude, that is a loophole that I would exploit.
Yeah, it's really nice, but same on. It's just kind of ridiculous. The deer that you're hunting are the same. They're still Pennsylvania deer. They're on the line.
100%.
Well, the other thing that doesn't make sense too is, like, states and politicians and governments is all about money, right? So, like, for instance, it's no secret, I buy a Rhode Island turkey license every year because they allow me to turkey hunt on Sundays. No brainer for me. Well, if Connecticut got with the program and just let me turkey hunt on Sundays, I want to go spend my money in another state.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want more people to come into the state to hunt, why don't you give them the same opportunity they have in the state right next door?
There's so many little towns in, like, the Allegheny National Forest that would be boosted so greatly, non-residents coming in to hunt on a But people don't, because if they want to come in and hunt on a weekend, they can hunt Saturday and that's it.
Right. Perfect example, right? If you called me up and you're like, hey, you want to do a trip to Pennsylvania, weekend trip? Can you hunt Sundays? No. Ooh.
Wow.
I don't know, right? Because you travel Friday, get up there Friday night, you have all day Saturday, all day Sunday, head home, back to work on Monday. You take Sunday away, it's like, dude, I'm gonna come out there to hunt one day. Like, it's a tough sale.
That sale. No.
Not worth it. Especially for, like, people that, work 5 days a week. Like,
It's tough for us, and especially when you're trying to get the best bang for your buck, right? So if I'm going to go somewhere, I want to be able to hunt on Sunday because I can only afford to leave X amount of days. Like, I allot myself, like Steve, 3 or 4 days of turkey season to begin with. The first stretch of turkey season, I'm back to work. I only have Saturdays to hunt, and then we go to Rhode Island on Sundays, so I can hunt on Sundays. So if I'm going to do a trip, I have to have that Sunday. That Sunday is so important to me. It's also a deer hunt. If I'm traveling to go deer hunting, I got to be able to hunt on Sundays. It's just one extra day for us to be able to hunt and spend that money there. I'm gonna go to other states that allow me to hunt on Sundays. Like it's a no brainer. It's a no brainer. I don't know why. I mean, like, can New York hunt Sundays?
Yep.
Oh, so then you just go over the line.
Like I walk out my door, 80, and I can hunt on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Badass, but like I would love to be able to hunt, behind my house or something, but I have to walk yards.
Our law is so specific. We can coyote hunt year round. The season doesn't close, right? We can't night hunt, but any weekday we can kill a coyote 12 months out of the year. But deer season, we can only hunt Sundays with a bow on private property for deer. So if you're in your tree stand with your bow on a Sunday, legally hunting deer, and a coyote comes by, you can't shoot the coyote because it's Sunday. You can only shoot a deer.
I'm gonna take it even further. Hunting in the bait zone, so we have southern bait zones. They're unlimited tag zones, right? Where you can hunt with bait on the southern southern part of the state.
Mhm.
You can only shoot deer over the corn. You can't shoot turkeys. So you can only bait deer. So if a turkey comes in, you can't shoot a turkey over the bait. You can only shoot deer over bait. Yeah, finger me out that one.
Respectfully, that sounds stupid. Like window licking type stupid.
It is, for sure. I want to talk about something that brings up a valid point. We were talking prior, and I guess we can just dive right into it. You being a quote unquote influencer, right? How many times do you scroll through and see something that you do originally and you see somebody else doing it? What is your first reaction?
A lot of expletives, a lot of swear words, like go fuck that guy. Like, I don't know, dude, it's not fair. Like, especially when they do it right. Like, you see them, like if I post something that's super original and cool and it's getting a bunch of views, and then this guy, I'm not gonna say whatever his name is, you see him like the video, and then 30 minutes later post the exact same video. I'm like,
Wait,
all right. Or you have people.
Hold on. Is he like taking your video and sharing your video, or is he replicating what you did in your video?
Getting word for word, or you have those dudes that literally have 60,000 followers, 120,000 followers, 200,000 followers, but you scroll through their entire page, and none of them are their videos, and you've never even seen their face. It doesn't make sense to me how people like that can just get away with, being famous off of other people's work.
I just don't understand how they collect a revenue check, right? So they're making money on other people's content.
Yeah.
It's
How?
plagiarism.
Huh?
It's plagiarism.
It is plagiarism.
They're using other people's content to get clicks and likes and views and whatever you want to call it, boost their numbers off of some video that went viral that somebody else made originally.
What was it? I posted a video. I found like a shed that was hanging in a bush, and it was like the first time I ever found one that wasn't on the ground. And I was like, cool. And then like 4 feet away was the other side, so I was all freaking out and shit. And then like a week later, I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I just see me, and I'm like, wait, that's me. That's my video. It's not my account, and it has 2.3 million likes. How much money did that dude just make off of my face?
When we were building the podcast, right? So we've been doing it for quite some time. When we would do things like, of course, like I would say we're probably, we were in the bubble of like newer hunting podcasts, right? When it had all first started. And we would come up with ideas like, like streaming it or, doing different things like for content as far as like we would take like when we would talk on the podcast and you would say something funny, we would take it and we'd have like wavelengths and it would, you listening to kind of like draw somebody in to be, on our Instagram or Facebook. And like nobody did that stuff. And then you see, same thing, that one person or that podcast would like it. They go click. And then 30 minutes later, you go on their page and they did the same exact thing that you did, or they're doing the same type of event, or they're doing this, and you're like, bro, you just come up with your own shit, man. Like, I spent endless hours of eating mushrooms to find these ideas out, and like, you literally stole them from me,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I was sitting there huffing paint trying to figure out a video idea, man. Like, I got it. I'm the one that bought $20 in spray paint and got freaking all messed up over it to figure out a video. You owe me $20 for that paint, man.
I'm saying it's just frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Because like you know what I'm saying? Because you go above and beyond to try and build your own content, be original, come up with your own jokes, be funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. It's seriously frustrating.
Dude, I straight up like quit. Like, I don't I don't fuck around with like TikTok anymore. Like, I just post whatever I think's funny. Like, I don't try and come up with anything. If I think something's cool, I'm gonna post it now. Like, I'm not. I used to like sit there and have a notebook and like write down video ideas, and no, not anymore. Not when there's people out there doing cheaper content and making way more money than I ever will, doing something fucking stupid.
We see it a ton. We see it a ton. It was as bad at one point, dude. We had this cat on a podcast. Okay, we had this kid on a podcast, and normally like dudes come on a podcast, then they have that that willpower underneath them, that flame, that fire. They want to start their own podcast. Bro, I wish you the best of luck, man. You call me up, I'll help you. I'll guide you down the roads. I'll give you a microphone if I can, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, pat on the back, dude. Whatever you can do, let me help you. Because that's how it started for me. I was going to start a podcast, reach out to some of the biggest names, learned how to do a podcast. I still suck at it. Still only get fucking 2 people to listen, but I tried. And this person comes on the podcast. The next week they started their podcast. They send me the intro that they had made for their podcast.
This is a true story, dude.
It was the same fucking song with the same
bro, like
to how we do everything.
Bro, does that podcast still exist? Did he make it to 7 episodes or no?
Think so, but it was
oh my god,
because me and Steve had back and forth on it, and we were like, bro, are you fucking serious? And Steve's
I don't
like,
even think they took the elk bugle out of the soundbite. Like, it was straight up the same intro music to the outdoor drive.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And I spent weeks putting that shit together. Like, just different stuff and sound bites and how this would work with that and this, that, and the other thing. Bro.
The thing that people don't realize is, like, you can't, once somebody finds something that works, there'll never be another one, right? So, like, Joe Rogan, for instance, he's got his thing. It works. You can't look at that and like cookie cutter and be like, I'm going to do what Joe Rogan does, because you'll never be able to do what he found it. You can't, you'll always be trying to mimic him. Right. And then like in the hunting industry, you have Kurt with Working Class Bow Hunter. What they do is phenomenal. If you try to do it like they do it, you're just a copycat. You have to do it your way and what's natural for you with your personality, and it's got to be your way. The second you try to do it like somebody else, you're just copying. You're never going to do it as good as the person that you're trying to copy.
I mean, everything good has a cheap copy. It's just how it goes. Everything is going to get copied.
Right.
We live in a digital world. It fucking sucks.
Right.
How many people copy you using a harmonica?
Like 3, dude. I shoot a turkey and like I fucking like do some stupid ass. It was Broken Window Serenade. I fucking do it.
Yeah.
I was there and I just freaking over a dead turkey, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. It gets 20,000 views. A week later, I see some dude doing it in the exact same position I'm in, and I'm like, bro,
That's bad, man. Like, it's one thing to like watermark your shits because like it might go viral in a sense where it just gets reshared all over the place. But when somebody like actually recreates it the way you did it as their own, that's tough.
Yeah. It also it really didn't help that they got way more views than I did. But like that's what kind of pissed me off more. But like whatever.
That's another crazy thing too, is like you never know what will go viral. you can't you can't try to make something go viral, right? You just have to just hey, this is cool, or hey, I think this is funny. Put it out there. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. But like sometimes you'll post the dumbest thing that you're like, whatever, it's something silly, and then it goes viral, and you're like, holy shit, how did that happen? And then like if you try to do it, it never works. Like a couple of years ago, you might not know this, but did you ever see the picture that went around of the note from the UPS driver that said, just to let you know, I saw a big buck in your backyard?
Mhm.
That was my note from my UPS driver. Right? I didn't think nothing of it. Like I came home, there's my package, there's a note. It's like, hey, just to let you know there was a big buck in your backyard with like a little picture of a deer. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I shared it on Instagram, like, oh, my my UPS driver is the man, right? Dude, next thing you know, like Lee and Tiffany Lukowski sharing it, Mark Drury sharing it, and like, dude, it's fucking everywhere. And I'm like, yo, that's my picture. And they're like, yeah, sure it is. I'm like, no, I swear to God, like that's literally my picture. And like bro, it still pops up to this day. And I'm like, dude, that's literally my picture. Like that's mine.
Nah, that's fucked up.
Yeah. But it's like, who would have thought that a stupid picture of a note from a UPS driver would go viral? Like you don't post it thinking it's gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then you wake up and you're like, holy shit, like how'd that happen?
I made some stupid video like 3 years ago, and I don't know. I can't remember what it was. I was watching like WWE, and it was like Steve Austin, like Austin 316, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna make Bible quotes for hunting. And I was like, if it's brown, it's down. Hunter Lation 69 420.
Mm-hmm.
And I just made a bunch of videos like that. Then like a week later, I see some dude like selling T-shirts with like my quotes on them. I'm like, bro, ask me, man. Like, whatever. Dude, he made bad T-shirts. I'm still mad over that. Actually,
That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit.
I bought one. You know,
You bought your own T-shirt.
dude, it was $8. Like I couldn't not. Like,
That's it's funny though. Like so many people, it's like the meme people, right? So like the brands that just like make crazy dumbass memes. Like, dude, that was like so long ago, but they have 150 million followers, and you're like, bro, you didn't even push to what it actually is. You push out these stupid memes. You can't build your own content. I mean, one of the things that we strive for, 110%, dude. You can go on any social media platform that we have. It is all original content.
Mhm.
Everything that we do is 100% original. We don't make memes. We don't make meme videos. We don't do none of that shit. Like, it's just real, generic, hardcore, organic fucking people. And it just drives me nuts.
those cap cuts or whatever, like you can just plug in whatever. I'm like, yeah, they're funny, but like I'm not gonna follow someone on Instagram if their entire page is just cap cut edits that someone else did and they just threw in a video for it. Like it's not whatever. It's still funny though. Like
Mm.
It is funny.
I'm still gonna laugh. I'm gonna like
yeah.
it, but I'm not gonna follow you. Like yeah.
Corey, play us a song on your harmonica. I think we need a song just to break up the monotony of the podcast.
Piano man. Billy
Piano.
Joel.
It's so funny because that song was like literally on the tip of my tongue before he played it. That's weird. I think it was from Broken Window Serenade. Was like they're very similar, and when you played it earlier, it reminded me of it.
Yeah, they're I'm not gonna lie. Everyone thinks I'm really good at the harmonica. I know like 3 songs, and those are 2 of them.
What's the third? What's the third while we're at it?
Some stupid Parker McCollum song. I can't remember, but like it's not very iconic. But those 2 ones, like you hear those, you know the song. You know.
What made you pick up a harmonica?
I got really drunk one night.
That's how all stories start.
Yeah, that's the end of the story right there. That's it. The story's over.
I got really drunk one night, and I saw a video of I think it was Zach Bryan, and he had some stupid fucking thing here, and he had the harmonica like in it, you know, and he's just playing guitar, and he's like beat red, just like, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fucking do that to impress one chick. That's how stories start too. I'm gonna try and impress a chick, and I was drunk. That's what made me pick up a harmonica. And I happened to be drunk enough that I thought I had bought one. I bought 11.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a song about that? The chicks dig it.
Yeah. Chris Cagle.
Chris Cagle, chicks dig it.
For some reason, I was thinking of Pickup Man by fucking.
Oh, Pickup Man.
Iffy?
Another solid, dude.
The
Absolutely
disc.
solid.
No. I hate.
Dude, I love music.
Me too. I go to the bar all the time and like fucking play with a band. It's great.
You play the harmonica in the band? 3 songs?
I sing in the band mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
The other, we were like freaking. They were like, there's a bunch of like 30-some-year-old dudes, and they're like, "You guys know any Daughtry?" And I was like, "You guys are not about to make me sing some fucking Chris Daughtry on a Monday night." But I did it.
You sung Chris Daughtry.
Chris Daughtry's amazing, bro. He's like the Jesus for 30-some-year-old dudes. Like,
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you.
everyone loves Daughtry.
Sure. I'll tell you what, nothing beats a good cover band, though, man. Like, if they're good, like they're playing all songs you know, they're playing all jams that you want to hear and you know the words and you're familiar with, but it's not coming out of a jukebox. It's like live. It's live music of songs you know.
It's good shit. I love it. I love it even more because I'm fucked up the entire time. It just makes everything better.
It's like deer camp every day in your life, huh, Corey?
Pretty much. Like,
hang a camera, go to the bar.
Hang a camera, go to the bar. Literally, like after this, I'm going to the bar.
Me too. It's like, hey, Steve, instead of no moose, next cut.
Camera, go to the bar.
I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna walk in with a championship belt around me. It's a turkey championship belt. I'm the best turkey hunter in a group of 10 people. Wow, so cool. I'm gonna walk in there. I'm gonna hit on some chick that's way out of my league. She's gonna turn me down, and I'm gonna fire off like 4 shots, and then become the life of the party. That's how it's gonna go down. And I'm probably gonna get kicked out again.
And then play your harmonica outside as a victory dance.
No, I'm probably gonna sit there outside and like do some really slow, sad tunes and make them try to let me back in. But
then that same chick comes up to you. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you played the harmonica. Can I have your number?"
You guys want to make this freaking? You guys want to make a music video together? We're gonna freaking rent my dad's boat. It's gonna be boats and hoes, but it's just an entire harmonica instrumental. Don't ask me how to play boats and hoes. I don't know how to do it.
What kind of boat does your dad? I hope it's bigger than a 12-foot John boat.
It is a 12-foot John boat.
That's perfect. That's amazing.
The rivets are popping out of it, dude. You took it in the swamp last time with your boys.
You should have said that idea on the podcast, though, because now someone's going to steal it before you even get a chance to do it.
Fuck, you're right.
They're also going to steal the T-shirt, hang another camera, go to the bar.
Yeah. Mine leaks, though, so it's fine.
That'll be
part of the video.
I
have a sinking boat playing the harmonica.
Is it really a John boat if it doesn't sink or have leaks in it?
A little leak.
I think you're right. Yeah, I don't think it counts as a John boat.
So we haven't had many waterfowlers on the podcast, honestly, and I like to have waterfowlers because I'm a waterfowler myself. But tell us your crazy swamp story, because every duck hunter has a swamp story.
Man, I really got to think about that, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, you think about it. I'm going to tell one of mine.
Yeah, do that.
Well, you think about it, Corey. Are you going to be able to think, or are you going to pay too much attention to what I'm saying?
You're gonna be talking, and it's gonna jog my memory. Come on.
All right. So this one time, I remember I wasn't even hunting at the time, right? My dad, was out hunting with my dad's buddy, and he had his lab, right? And we were early season wood duck hunting, and my dad kept shooting them real far out. He had extended waterfowl choke, so he's shooting these these things are coming in, cupping. He's shooting them real far out, and his buddy Dave says to him, he says, Jimmy, stop shooting them things so far out, right? So he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, let them come in. I can't even get a shot at them. They're too far out. So he's like, all right. So they start coming in. The thing's cupped, coming right in, dude, right in his face. He doesn't shoot. My dad shoots. I remember it like yesterday. That duck came in, hit the dude right in the center of the chest, and he falls backwards in the swamp, and all you can hear is, and he's trying to get up his gun, and everything's all in his wader's full of water. I remember it like it was yesterday, dude. It was probably one of the most iconic moments of my duck hunting career as a child.
Right. Yeah, I got mine. I forgot, because it's such a, it's an everyday occurrence. I go there. There's this dude. I'm not going to name the name of the swamp because he's a meth head and it is a meth lab. But every time I walk through the woods to get to the swamp, he's sitting there. And by now he knows me. He goes, "Hi Corey, how you doing? You ain't got no fucking teeth." Whatever. And he goes, "Hey man, throw me a duck or two." So I go back there one day and I shoot a couple ducks and I'm walking back to my truck and his name's Eustace. Eustace comes out of, by the way, perfect name for a dude that lives in the middle of the woods with a meth lab. He comes out of there. He goes, "You get my ducks?" I'm like, "Yep." So I throw him his ducks. He grabs one, starts breasting it real fucking fast. And the other one, he throws in the meth making thing. So that's duck flavored meth. And that is the wildest shit that I can think of. But it's such a common occurrence that I didn't really remember it. Eustace is dead now, but
Speaking of meth heads, and Steve can probably relate to this.
Speaking of meth heads, so Steve, anyways.
No.
That's messed up.
No, Steve works in Norwich, right? So Norwich is a town of many treasures. And we would fish in the harbor. The harbor is just the cesspool of horribleness, right? So one day I'm sitting on the dock and I'm fishing and we snag Bunker and we have Bunker in a bucket, right? And this dude comes over and he's like, "Oh, hey, do you have any water?" I'm like, "Water? What do you need water for?" He's like, I need some water. I was like, "No, all I got is a bucket full of dead Bunker." Dude, he takes it out. He puts it in a spoon, bro. And he cooks the water and then shoots it up into his vein. I swear to God, bro. Swear to God. I couldn't believe it. Ask Steve, isn't that believable for Norwich Harbor?
Oh, that part, yeah, that's sketchy. That's sketchy during the day, let alone at night.
This kid Chris said the harbor gets wild after dark. And it's true. Dude, I had another dude that came up to me one time and he's like, "Hey man, where's the Bunker at?" I'm like, "They're right there." And he's like, Where they at?" And then he goes away and he comes back, dude, and he's in his skivvies. And he's like, "Where's the Bunker?" And I'm like, "They're right there." And he jumps in the water, bro. And we couldn't get him out of the water. The police boat had to try and come and get him out of the water. And he just kept swimming away from the boat. He wouldn't get in the boat. It's a weird place, bro. It's a really weird place. It's a place of its own.
I don't think I'd go back after the water injection one.
The fishing's phenomenal.
That guy's dead now too, so you're not gonna run into that guy again.
Yeah, dude, he probably Eustace's brother.
It's Eustace's cousin, actually.
I actually went to Eustace's funeral too.
Was there a lot of?
Yeah, there was 40, 50 people, I guess, when I was there, but it really didn't seem like the crowd for a meth head. Everyone was kind of they looked wealthy and put together, and then you just had Eustace there with no teeth, and he kind of looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Yes, people. He was a cool dude, though. Fuck it.
Your story of him reminds me of a story. It's not a swamp story, but similar character. His name was Cropper. He was not a meth head. He was just a drunk, old hippie from back in the day, And he lived in this little shack next to this woodlot where my buddy's got his dad's got a tree service, so that's where they keep all the logs and stuff like that. And that's where we'd meet in the morning before work. And one day there was a dead otter on the side of the road, So this guy Manny picks up the otter and he sets it on this rock in Cropper's yard, and we leave. So we go work for the day. We come back, and every day you come home and Cropper would come out with some wild story or whatever. So he comes home and he's like, guys, you're not gonna believe this. I was sitting here, and this otter came out into the yard, and an eagle swooped down, picked up the otter, and dropped it on this rock right here. I saw the whole thing with my own eyes, you guys. And we're like, really? No shit. And he's like, I know you know, it sounds crazy, but I saw the whole thing with my own eyes. The eagle dropped the otter on this rock right here, and he's laying dead here right now. I'm like, okay, Cropper, like, sure. We put the otter on the rock before we left. And he fabricated this whole story on how the otter ended up there.
Did you go see the otter?
Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, look at the eagle claws.
It was a 44 Chevy.
There's a swamp down the road from me, and there's a guy growing up. He's dead now. It's not Eustace, but he used to believe that he was a Native American. By the way, dude was whiter than Hellman's mayonnaise. Every summer, dude would like build a teepee in his back lawn, and he lived in like a garage. He'd build a teepee in his back lawn and just chill out there the entire summer. And every time you drove by, it smelled a little skunky. So like, 12-year-old me, that's where 12-year-old me would pick up his little fun stuff. And I've never been able to replicate how high I got from that dude. I mean, it was life-changing stuff, and it'll never come up. So I just don't smoke.
Was it peyote, or was it like?
But I don't think you would give it to a 12-year-old, but like straight up.
It was laced with duck feathers.
The odds are high.
You need to learn how to play Curtis Lowe on the harmonica.
I could probably try and learn it.
Dude, that would vibe with your with the scenarios in your neighborhood.
Can you do it?
We called him Joe.
Huh?
His name was Engine Joe. A little racist, but it's okay.
Can you play it on the guitar?
Curse Lowe?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you got some practice. You got some practice to do before round 2.
Yeah, you're right.
Curtis was a jam.
I'll get it together.
Do you get craziness? Like do you get crazy people when you're guiding?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. There's this one guy. He was like trying to like fill out his Grand Slam or whatever, or his US Slam, and he just needed an Eastern. And he came up here and basically he lied to me. Like he had shot 1 billion Easterns in his life. Dude was from like Mississippi. But we're just walking up. It was like 7 a.m. No turkeys were gobbling. And I'm like, we're just going to check this spot. So we're walking across the top of this ridge. And all of a sudden, the turkey just takes off from, like, it was still in the roost. It was like 7:30. Dude, like, so fast, whips his gun around, shoots the turkey out of the air. And I'm like, okay, one, that was badass, dude. He had like a city, like a New York City accent the entire time. And then all of a sudden it just changed to like deep south, like there was probably cornbread flowing through his veins kind of accent. Just changed. As soon as he shot the turkey, just boom. Takes off his brand new Cabela's jacket, and there's like an old ratted out freaking Bottomland cut off t-shirt. And there's a spur necklace that goes all the way down to his fucking willy. And he's like, yeah. I can't do the Southern accent because I'm going to sound like an idiot, but he's like, yeah, I've done a few things, kid. I just wanted to see if you were legit. And I was like, and then he tipped me $600 and went on his way. And he never gave me his actual name. I don't think the name that he gave me was his actual name, but it was the wildest experience of my life. Like he just straight up went from one dude, and then he turned into a Southern guy after he shot the turkey. And I that's the best way I can explain it. Sounds super fucking made up, but like that's what happened.
Was he like DEA? Like
no, he was a turkey slaying motherfucker, and he acted like he was a city slicker that didn't know how to turkey hunt.
Yeah, pretty much. It was fucking weird. but like he tipped me 600.
I respect the hell out of that, to be honest with you,
do.
because there's nothing worse than like showing up to whatever camp and like there's always the guy that like has to tell you how great they are and how much
the guide.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, dude, just shut up. Just like we're here to, just stop, right? And like you're always better off just being the quiet guy that knows what you know, but doesn't have to prove to everybody that you know something. So like I like that a lot rather than being the other guy that walks into camp with the spur necklace around his neck just so everybody knows how many turkeys you've killed,
I couldn't believe it because like he straight up had like a New York City like freaking accent, and then he like bam shoots the turkey out of the air, which I it's legal. Had to look it up, so I'm not gonna get freaking knocked on by old green jeans later. He does that, and then immediately takes off his jacket. Accent changes on the spot. Goes from freaking New York City dude to like like straight up.
He's like deep Mississippi or
Louisiana type shit.
And I literally like said like 4 words the rest of the day. I said, "Congratulations, drive safe." Like,
it's no worse because like when I had guided fishing trips, mind you, everybody and their brother can fish, right? They know how to fish, they know everything. The biggest thing that they say all the time, you probably get this too, Corey, is this isn't my first rodeo. And I'm like, no, but it might be your last. That's what I like to tell them. Like, no, nothing worse than that. And then the best is, then they catch a 25-pound fish. And they're like, oh my God, this is the biggest fish I ever caught in my life. And they freak out. And you're like, that was bait, kid.
No, like, I always love the people, like, when we're setting up decoys, they're like, dude, we should run a J-hook. We should run a J-hook for the spread. And I'm like, no, we're not fucking doing that, dude. And they're like, one guy, he was so pissed off that we weren't going to run a J-hook. I looked at him and I was like, you literally just paid me $350 to sit in a ratty old layout blind and kill geese. And you're going to tell me how to set up my decoys. And he goes, fuck, you're right. And then he was a good guy after that. Like, he's perfect. Some people are just stupid. It happens.
Yeah, that's tough. That's super tough. A lot of people, man. And you know what it is? I think that this going back on the archery hunting and the traditional bow and stuff like that. I think that there's a small percentage of us that are actually hardcore and like live, breathe, and dream to do this, right? And I think that, like we're kind of like in our secluded bubble and don't really get it or understand it because we live it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the vast majority of people, I would say 85%, 90% of people dust off their gear a day or two before season. They don't practice. They don't shoot. They don't shoot the gun. They don't, you know what I'm saying? And then they wear camo and they go out to the gas station. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll never see. Do you wear that to the bar?
I'm going to.
Oh my God, man.
I forgot to do laundry.
Steve, when was the last time that you wore your camo in public?
In public?
Public. Yes, it brought up the same thought.
I was thinking that earlier. No, I don't.
No.
Never. I mean, I'll wear camo, but not my my hunting, my game uniform.
Like
it's a thin shirt, bro. It's hot out here. Like I'm trying to survive, man. I forgot to do my
comes with the territory of Sika, bro. Stop.
I forgot to do my laundry. Like, I walk into the bar, some chick like just broke up with her boyfriend. She sees me wearing Sitka, like she recognizes the logo, like
she can't see you though.
I'm wearing short shorts, like
short shorts.
Yeah.
Crocs or Hey Dudes?
Hey Dudes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Respect the game.
I've never worn. I don't know why. I like Hey Dudes.
Oh, I have a pair of Hey Dudes on right now.
Me too. Team Hey Dudes.
Yeah.
You know that we kind of got sidetracked there, but what you were saying a minute ago, Trev, kind of gave me a thought I had earlier when Corey, you're talking about shooting
Public.
shooting the shooting the trad bow, and you were saying how if you were ever to like get back into it, you would probably do more like get more into it and like watch more YouTube and stuff like that. I was thinking like, don't just do what you're doing and figure it out on. You're almost better off because there's just so much information. You can watch one YouTube channel and the guy's telling you to do it one way, and then the other guy's telling you to do it another way, and then you have to decipher through the bullshit. And like you're almost better off sometimes just do what you do and figure it out and problem solve, and you did something right. And just almost nobody self teaches anymore.
No.
You always have to go to, I mean, I shouldn't say this because we're on a podcast, but like you got to turn to a podcast and listen to what this guy says to do. And then you go to YouTube and then this guy says to do this. And you know what I mean? Like there's no such thing as self-taught anymore. And sometimes I think like guys are scared to just go out there and figure it the fuck out instead of worrying about what everybody's telling you to do. You know?
I think the thing too, and you know that brings up a big point. All of us here grew up. You know, we're all '90s. Well, I mean, Steve's a little bit before the '90s, but we all grew up in we all grew up in that time. I'm 1 year away from it. What are you, 91?
01.
Oh,
Are you really, Corey?
Yeah, dude.
Are you even legal to be on this podcast right now?
I have to end stream. I didn't even know these
Dude,
things.
we needed your parents to sign a consent form to be on this podcast.
I'm about 23.
I'm just joking.
Oh my god. All right. I guess my comment is null and void. Comment's null and void.
No, go with it though, to be honest with you, because I know what you're gonna say. Like, so Corey, and this isn't to pick on you, this is just for conversation purposes. So you're 23. So when you were 16 and like got out to like hunt on your own, right? Were trail cameras already out?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're like that generation where trail cameras have always been a part of the game.
I think, yeah, I was like 9-10 years old. My dad got his first trail camera. And, you know, I was 12 years old hunting by myself using my own trail cameras. You know, like every Christmas, like every birthday, all the birthday Christmas money, I would just buy a trail camera. I still have them. I've got like 90 trail now. So like I don't run them all. I just want to point that out. But like, yeah, I've always used trail cameras. And I kind of wish I didn't grow up doing that. I really wish that I had the, you know, deer camp's not really such a thing anymore. And, you know, I just kind of wish we kind of like went backwards 50 years.
But the thing is like, if they're available and they're legal, why would you not use them? Right. Like I use them. I use them a lot. Right. And like, I just had this conversation with our teammate Seth the other night where like, yeah, I can hunt without them. I grew up without them. I learned to hunt without them, but I haven't done the math and thought of it, but I've probably used them more of my hunting career than not used them, to the point now where like, you never have enough trail cameras, right? So like, it's hard to convince yourself to go hunt a certain block of timber on a hunch because of some sign or whatever without putting a camera in there first to see what's there. And it's like, why? Like, it's like, I don't know.
I mean,
you're on this like trend where it's like that's the process, right? You find the sign, you find the spot, you throw a camera in there, you let it soak, you check the camera, shooter buck. All right, I'm gonna go in there and kill him. Why did I need the camera to confirm that? But it's like there's some kind of like programming where like you need that camera to validate what's in there.
I really only use trail cameras to like figure out what all is in there. Like if I bucks in there, I'm gonna hunt it anyways. I just want to know like how many bucks are in there.
Right.
You know?
True.
I mean, woodsmanship is gonna kill more freaking deer than a camera will. Like that's just, if you go out there, lace up a pair of boots and just go walk in the woods, you're gonna do more than a camera ever will. A camera's covering one spot. I walked into this holler yesterday that I've got 3 cell cameras in. Haven't had a buck on camera in probably 3-4 weeks. And I saw 5 bucks yesterday walking through. But I haven't seen a buck on camera in, a month.
And that's what I was gonna say was honestly like we grew up in the generation where me and Steve grew up in the generation of where we didn't have none of that stuff. So we had pure woodsmanship, right? And like it wasn't until later in our career that we were able to have trail cameras and use trail. I mean, the first couple of trail cameras that came out, bro, they were useless anyways. You might as well just throw them in the garbage, or they were super expensive and couldn't afford them, right? Like, so it was really tough. And now the stuff and the technology has evolved in quite some time. And then, mind you, like you didn't like our generation had didn't have trail cameras till later on in the year. The years before us, those guys had big bucks everywhere. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I knew what I know now back then, I think I would be way more successful of a hunter because it was in those prime years of hunting. But what there is today, it's tough. It's tough. It's definitely a scary thing. Um, Whitetail 1-on-1 said, "Damn, I got socks older than you."
They're wool.
They're wool.
They're cotton. They're crusty as shit.
This is very true.
So you wear dudes. You don't need socks.
Ooh,
I'm not wearing socks.
Socks for your dudes?
Every once in a while I will, but no.
So like, dude, cheat code: put a sock, like an ankle sock, around like the insole, and you don't have to wear socks, and then your feet won't get like stuck to the insole.
Oh, super good cheat. That like ABC up, down, 2, down, 3 up.
Dude, he's 20. He's 23. He doesn't know about that either.
No, dude, I know. Don't know what that's for. Is it like GT money glitch or some shit?
That was Mortal Kombat, dude.
Mortal Kombat, man. What do you mean?
Nah, Mortal Kombat wasn't my thing. My dad was a cop. He didn't like a bunch of like that. He's like, I don't want to shoot you.
Oh, but he like Grand Theft Auto instead.
Yeah, but he let me play Grand Theft Auto. I was like, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, I love you, Dad, but like, you're gonna let me like run over old ladies, but I can't kill some ninja dude. All right.
We steal cars and pick up hookers.
Yeah.
On that note,
Gotta go do that tonight.
Yep. Well, Core, I got one last question for you, and I'm not really sure you can handle it, but I guess I'm gonna spit it to you anyways. We want to know what drives you outdoors.
Shit. Just what I've always done. I don't know anything other than it. I don't like. I would like to die in the woods someday. That's what drives me outdoors. That's pretty much it.
I mean, it's a pretty damn good answer, to be honest with you.
I know the perfect swamp for you to go to.
Dude, yeah. Like, if I were to go at like a young age, like I want to get taken out by a bear or like a mountain lion. Like, I just want to be badass like that. Preferably, I would like them to find the bear or mountain lion like 30 yards away dead. Like, I had a chance to survive, but like, I would rather die. I don't want to die in like a nursing home or like a hospital bed all fucked up. Like, I want to be found in the wilderness. Like, that's just how I want to go.
Do you ever have to worry in Pennsylvania about rattlesnakes?
Yeah.
Do you see them a lot?
No. They're like 40 minutes south, yeah. But like here, no. But
my one fear in life. I'm afraid to go trail cameras because of the rattlesnakes.
You really don't have to worry. Unless you're like walking through like the power lines with a bunch of rocks on them, like you're fine. But no. Like, you just like walking power lines with a bunch of rocks on them. You like parkour shit.
No.
Just hey dudes with no socks on.
Yeah. No, I wear socks with my hey dudes.
No. Just, yeah, like 45 minutes, 50 minutes south of me, there's a bunch of rattlesnakes. They have like rattlesnake roundups and shit, but like supposedly they can't kill you. They just like make you fucking sick. But
is that really it?
Yeah. Supposedly, like, I guess. I don't know. I've never been bit by one, so I'm not gonna whatever. I did get circumcised by a turtle when I was 16, but like that's pretty much it.
We need to hear the story. Hold on, back up. All right, what was that? Talk about it.
Yeah, I got circumcised by a turtle when I was 16 years old.
Like,
True story, dude.
what happened? Take us through the chain of events.
There's me, a really hot chick, and a really not hot chick. We were skinny dipping in the river, the old Allegheny River. And have you ever seen like?
So do you not have a wiener?
Huh?
Do not have a wiener?
No, it's still there. It just took my hoodie off. You know. But I was skinny dipping in the river, and you go to amusement park, like a water park, and you see like kids crawling in like the shallow section. They're just like crawling along the bottom. I was doing that in the river, and next thing you know, fucking snap, and I immediately stand up, and 1/3 of my kind of like that, and I'm just bleeding like a motherfucker because I guess that's what happens. And the girl that I was with, she's fucking screaming. She's like, "Oh my God, we gotta get you to the hospital!" And I'm like, "Fuck!" So the really ugly chick's driving to the hospital. Me and
that was the one you were with. Sorry, go ahead.
Me in the back seat, and like kind of finessed my way. She was like holding my thing like a tourniquet, She's, and anyways, we got to the hospital. Emergency. Had to cut the.
You gotta suck the poison out.
had to cut the rest of my thing off. Like the. Now we're like this now, and apparently like the doctor never seen that before. And that's like turtle circumcised a dude.
It's so a 1 million shot, kid.
Yeah, I had stitches on my thing, and I was 16 years old. 16 years old, like anything turn on a 16-year-old kid. So like I had to like think of chairs and shit, like to like make me not whatever. Otherwise, it'd pop the stitches out. But like now, I have a really weird like fascination with chairs. But that girl hasn't talked to me since either. So.
Well,
did you like try to go back to the river to avenge your penis by catching that turtle? And
oh no, dude, legit, we did. We had a big like snapping turtle roundup. Me and my buddies, like
the
next year, like around that. It was literally like 2 days before my birthday too that it happened.
Did you get him back? Did you catch him?
Up.
I don't know if we caught the exact turtle, but like we fucked up some turtles. I'm just saying, like, don't skinny dip in a river because it. Oh, I would like to preface, I was born in a third world country, so that's why I still had my, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like, it's a lot cooler now, a lot less.
All right, we want to thank everyone here for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.